Are we seeing a downward trend in our real estate market? Well, I've got some interesting data to share with you. I'm going to get you started right now. This is KW Real Estate News and Views for the week of September 29th. Got board data for you today from the Cornerstone Association of Realtors, my local board. Went on the system the other day and I grabbed the numbers for September. We have started off September, the second busy time of the year, kind of with a whimper. Didn't start with a bang. Prices have held up reasonably well on a month-over-month basis. They don't look quite the same when you're looking year over year. And the big culprit with this is relatively low sales activity in combination with lots and lots of listings. So that's our competition, and that's painting the picture of market activity. I'm going to get you started with detached properties first. So in Waterloo Region, for a detached home, the average came in at $861,155. Now that compared to August is up 2%. But when you look at last September, the average price was $915,000. So we're actually down 6% on the year. The criteria that's driving all this, again, it's inventory. Right now for detached, we're now sitting up at 4 months worth of inventory. A month and a half back, we had 3 months worth of inventory. So this extra inventory is definitely putting pressure on sellers to, take lower offers from buyers. That only makes sense. That whole story, inventory versus sales, it's going to play out through every other segment I talk about today. So I'll get you on to semis next. Semis is a small segment. There hasn't ever a lot of traffic in it. They just don't build that many and they're not that popular. Well, right now, average semi in Waterloo Region for September came in just over $620,000. That's flat compared to August, but when you look at it year over year, we're down 5% compared to last September, and the average back then was $655,000. So we're down, $35K. Segment as far as inventory. It's stuck stubbornly in seller category for months and months and months. And right now, we're actually almost into balanced or neutral market territory. We are just under 3 months worth of supply in that segment. Looking at the volumes, looking at the sales figures too. I had mentioned this talking about everything. Inventories are way up compared to the 10-year average, and sales are way down. That's the story of this market. Townhouses, bit of the same thing. Last segment, or last market update rather, I did on townhouses. I mentioned that for the first time in a very long time, townhouses have broke 600 grand. Well, they went the other way in September, and we're now sitting at $605,000. That's up 2% up from August and up 2% compared to last year. And that figure I'd quoted before for August or for last year was right at $595,000. So not a lot of change. They're up, basically 10%. The shocking thing though about the townhouse segment I wanted to talk to you about is now we've got 123% of our historic 10-year average for inventory. And that in combination with slow sales volumes has kicked the available listings into buyer market territory. We now are looking at 6 months worth of unsold housing stock for townhouses, and that's a big shift. Last segment I'm going to talk about, apartment style condos. It's been all over the news, mostly with pre-cons in Toronto, but just this morning I was reading in Vancouver, they've got a whole bunch of pre-cons that aren't selling as well. That's not our market. We haven't built to the same level as those two big cities, but still, apartment style condos is getting beaten up. This September, average price $440K. That's up 1% compared to August. But if you look at it on a year-over-year basis, we're down a full 9 points compared to September 2024, where the average apartment style condo was $485,000. So that's a pretty steep discount. Inventories are way up. We were at close to 95% above the 10-year moving average, and that's giving us over 9 months worth of listings available on market. It's definitely slow. Now, having said all that, we've got lots of inventory. We've got not many sales. If you're a buyer, this is where opportunity is available. The crappy properties on market simply aren't going to sell, and even decent ones are facing downward pricing pressure. So if you're smart and you know what you're looking for and you're patient, there's definitely deals to be had. So here's my advice for you. Go check out my mortgages pages and see what you qualify for. I've got all the math laid out that the banks use to do your pre-qualification. I've even got a mortgage calculator. The other thing I would do, my open house pages. Every seller out there is putting pressure on the realtor to do open houses because our market is slow, and they're holding them every weekend. So I've got the same data as realtor.ca, and I've set up a filter that filters out everything that's not open houses. So you go to my page and you're going to find probably 400 open houses in the region this weekend coming up. Check it out. It's super easy to use. I'll put the links up for the mortgages. I'll put the links up for the open houses in the comments at the bottom of this video. Now, lastly, I just want to finish talking about the market and what's going on and what I think is going to happen in the future. So normally, as I said, the fall market is our second busy time of the year, and this one's kind of started out as a dud. Now, I don't see that suddenly picking up in October. I mean, we had an interest rate cut. It hasn't done anything. The prices are flat, but I don't think it's going to get crazy busy. I just don't. And I think November, December, when the weather gets poor, you're going to see further price reductions because generally you just always do. I mean, people don't want to be buying and selling houses around Christmas time. So that represents an opportunity for buyers, absolutely, the ones who are patient and smart. If I was a seller in this market, I would be waiting until the spring and hoping for that spring uptick in prices you normally see. This spring we had it was piecemeal, it wasn't consistent, but the prices were higher this spring compared to January, February, and that would be typical coming up in the future. It's hard to predict what's going on. There's a lot of economic pressures on buyers and sellers and on the economy, but yeah, if I was a seller, I wouldn't be doing it now. If I was a buyer, I'd be thinking, okay, there's deals to be had. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much for watching, and have yourself an awesome day.